in regard of cities, there are possible opportunities to expand the use of LoRaWan. So we are going to another part of the journey in sustainability effort, I would say. Here, we will welcome Yannick Delibie, a board member and CTO of Kerlink. He will teach us about how are possible to use the uCifi alliance, which is standardizing a data model and a description language, which can be on top of LoRaWan a good opportunity to expand in smart city applications. So I'm welcoming on stage Yannick for the next session.
Can you hear me? Okay, yeah. So thank you, Remy. So yes, I'm Yannick, so the co-founder of Kerlink. I'm acting as CTO for the corporate and also as a CEO for the US subsidiary. So I'm based here in the US. Kerlink is the co-founder, is one of the co-founder of the LoRa Alliance, so starting in 2015. But we have started to build the first LoRa, not LoRaWan at that moment, but the first LoRa gateway in 2012, starting in 2012. So 10 years, more than 10 years ago now. So, but I'm still enthusiastic for this kind of technology. I'm still on board because I really believe that this technology is one of the best network access technology for all LP1 application, especially for smart cities and utilities. So I'm not here to talk about Kerlink, but just a new initiative that we have started in 2019. It's a way to try to unlock the smart cities market by bringing an interoperability for the use cases, all the use cases that we can address with the smart cities. So we have created a new alliance, a new industrial alliance called uCifi, with some members. I will list the founding members after. But the challenge was really to propose something to unlock the application or the market for smart cities, for smart cities, and to avoid all proprietary solutions that can lock the growth of this market. Just a figure in this slide, we estimate that 82% of the smart city proof of concept development failed due to the lack of maturity or the lack of openness. So it's not standard. So the first, we have decided to create a new alliance. To be clear, it's not in competition with our current alliance, LoRa Alliance. It's not a new network protocol technology. It's really based on the data and only on the data. So because only the alliance that wants to address this kind of market are network access or protocol technology and not based or focused on the data. So we are trying to develop a specific alliance that take into account the data and the language that the device and the application can use. So the first objective of uCifi is to define a completely open source and unified data model. So a data model is really the content of the data, the language that the devices or the application use to exchange contents. So we would like to define a complete open source data model that can be used on the existing network access technology like LoRaWan, of course, but also Wi-Fi and the cellular technology and NB-IoT LTE-M. So the second objective of the uCifi, it's clearly to push very hard this data model to cities to be sure that we can have a complete or a very large adoption in order to avoid the vendors lock-in behavior that we have today in this market. So it's really marketing and marketing communication. So this is the second objective of this alliance. It's really to be adopted by the largest RFQ that we can see in the city. You will see we have some examples just after. So for instance, the number of use cases that we can address with this data model is huge. It's really important in the smart cities application. We already addressed all smart metering, so electricity, gas, and water smart metering, all building or smart building application, especially for energy management system. The mobility, the street lighting. The street lighting it's a huge opportunity for this alliance, and we also integrate all the environmental sensors. So here you have the members today. The four founding members were Schroeder, EDMI, NG, and Kerlink. So initially completely focused on the street lighting application, and initially based on mesh technology using Wi-Fi. But with Kerlink, we opened the radio access technology by bringing the LoRaWan topology on the alliance. So and you can see that we have today some cities, big cities like Stockholm, Gijón in Spain, and Nantes in France, already involved in this alliance. So just for your information, in terms of technical aspect, so the uCifi data model is just a dictionary, so language for devices and application to talk, but we can bring this data model on cellular network, LoRaWan, or mesh technology, and it's completely compatible with already existing applications like smart cities application already developed an IoT platform using other data model like Talk or DLMS COSEM. So the main objective of this data model is to be completely agnostic of the network of the access network that we can use for the applications. So as you probably know, in a data model, it's not only the parameters or the value that you have to bring. You have also some value-added services that are needed to manage the life cycle, of the device, like read value, like send command, or a scheduler programming or calendar programming, and of course over-the-air update. So firmware over-the-air is one of the key features that the data model proposed. And now we have something like 33 identified smart cities devices already defined in within the data model. So you have some example here, especially for the smart metering, so water, gas, and electricity, but also all applications that we can use for street lighting, like actuators or dimming of the LED. We have also filling level for waste management applications, and of course all multi-purpose objects like digital input-output or generic actuator. This data model is already available for free. It's an open source data model to be hosted on a LoRaWan network. So just some example. So the first one is a water quality sensor. So you have here just an example of what the message is defined in the data model. So you can have some specific value like pH or chlorine, and this water quality sensor is already used, for instance, in Nantes metropole. So they already use. They have a specific LoRaWan network for all use cases in smart city that they need, and they use this kind of sensor already using the uCifi data model. This is the first example that we had for the water quality sensor. Another example is for the filling level sensor. It's for waste management. So you have exactly the same description of the values, and we have one cities, Giron in Spain, that use this sensor over LoRaWan 2. So it's also a LoRaWan implementation, but they use also. What is really interesting with this cities is that they use also mesh Wi-Fi technology for the street light, but they have exactly the same integration on the application level because they use the same data model uCifi. And the third example that I have, it's for street lighting, so the lamp controller. So we have defined also a specific language for that. And the first implementation of this data model was in Brussels with Sibelga, and we use what is interesting with this example is that Sibelga used the both technology, the both network access technology, so mesh, so Wi-Fi, and LoRaWan for the same application, because they have two two vendors that provide the lamp controller. So they have two implementation of the network access, but the only one application because they use uCifi at the data level. So why I think uCifi could be a good way to increase the number of projects that we have with LoRaWan is because it's really a way to do a cohabitation between access network. We all know that we are in competition with some access network like Wi-Fi or NB-IoT. But if a city has chosen one of the network access, so not LoRaWan, we can also provide some use cases that are well addressed by the LoRaWan technology, just because we bring a standard data model that it can be really easy and with a low cost to integrate. So we already have 33 predefined sensors. So we can use it directly on the LoRaWan technology today. I know it could be complex to integrate, but we have two kinds of integration of the data model. The first one is classic. It's the native uCifi devices. So we have some manufacturers that already embed the data model on the device, from the software of the device. That means we have native uCifi devices. It could be complex because, as you see here, the uCifi is based on lightweight M2M description. Lightweight M2M used mainly CoAP and the IP protocol suite, and we all know here that the IP protocol suite, it's not completely easy to integrate with the LoRaWan protocol on the radio side. So that means we can use a specific optimized CoAP protocol stack instead of the full IP suite. But we can integrate the data model, so that means the description of the data directly on the devices. The second way to integrate this data model is to set up a bridge on the LNS, so on the application part, that will translate all legacy or proprietary protocol from specific devices to a unified open source data model, so to the uCifi data model. It's really easy to do. It's just object usage. It's just software, but we can bring a bridge, a codec API bridging on the LNS part. And with that, we can support all the devices of the market today and to bring them directly to the smart cities application, just because just after the LNS, we are talking using a standard data model. So the both application has already be tested and integrated. So it could be interesting if you want to discuss about that, if you need more details on what we can integrate that. So it's a short presentation, but it's just to show you that we can have some initiatives. So it's new, but we can have some initiative to try to unlock the smart cities market. So please do not hesitate to visit our website, the uCifi.org, or to contact directly the Alliance or me if you need more information. And please, if you are interested, do not hesitate to upload to download the data model, as it's completely open source. It's free. You can use it now. So, thank you.